this has been a topic of conversation. Heavy, 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 heavy. Everybody been talking about it. And let me tell you why they've been talking about it. The same reason why they was talking about UPS drivers getting to the bag. Remember when union negotiations was happening? It was a little bit before the UAW got their contract, right? And women started looking at Brown. No, not that Brown. Brown. When Brown delivers. Y'all don't remember those old commercials? Okay. So UPS usually they had this big old campaign where they was basically on some Brown delivers. And because they have brown uniforms and they drive brown trucks, and so they was basically highlighting and promoting the company to get people to buy more and spend more on delivery from UPS services. And so recently, within a year ago, they got these contracts and they were saying, oh man, with overtime, y'all can make this much money and this much money and so on and so forth. And so people were enamored with the big contracts. And then a lot of the other unions started to follow suit, the UAW or whatever. But what the union don't understand is that they basically killing their own jobs and they don't realize it. But I'm going to break it down. This is the latest update from a driver, and then I'm going to break it down from a financial analyst perspective. And then we could talk about it in Stock Club on the next Stock Club too. And I'm going to break down exactly what y'all need to look for when y'all looking to invest in certain type of companies like these. But let me go ahead and share my screen with you guys so that you'll understand. This is from a driver, and this is what the sentiment is.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me again. Okay, so obviously I touched the nerve with some people, or maybe some that do, and they just don't quite understand. So I just want to kind of cut through the chase and just stick to some of the facts and explain things a little more clearly. So some good things came up in the comments, and I wanted to talk about that stuff, but I made a little list here. I just finished working. I'm on my break, so I'm just trying to make a quick video just to update you guys. But yeah, I'm really surprised at the response I got from the last video. It's still going. It's like, wow, people are definitely interested in what's going on, as they should be. Okay, so first of all, let me just clear things up. UPS drivers, the guys like myself, the people that are delivering the packages, are not being laid off. UPS is not even trying to lay us off. As far as I know, there's still plenty of work for the UPS delivery drivers and even the feeder drivers at this point to be doing what they do. UPS is not trying to lay us off. There's no concern that if somehow we don't take the buyout that we're going to be laid off. That's all fine and dandy. Everything's on the up and up as far as that goes. Now, with this whole thing that they're doing with the smart hubs, the 200 new hubs that are going to be converted into automated hubs and all that kind of thing, okay, there's a big transition that's going to happen at that point. Who knows what's going to happen with contract negotiations? The shit's going to hit the fan with that as far as I'm concerned. So in 2028, sure, there's definitely some risk about people being laid off because we may not even have a contract at all. But that's separate, okay? So what I was trying to explain in the last video is they're trying to convert these hubs, and the people that work in the hubs that actually push the packages, load the brown trucks, load the trailers, unload them, and all that kind of stuff, they're the ones that have jobs that are on the line. And UPS is more than likely going to be laying off a bunch of those workers, okay? Those are mostly part-time workers, and that's what we're talking about. There's still plenty of jobs for the delivery drivers. That volume hasn't really changed. Everything's on the up and up as far as that goes. But that'll be phase two, I guarantee, because let's be honest, with all the automation and everything that's going on these days, I mean, we already have vehicles that can drive themselves, right? Tesla has proven it. That's going to be perfected. It's just a matter of time before the UPS vehicles drive themselves to each delivery point, each pickup point, and then there's some kind of Tesla robot, or maybe 3 or 4 of them, that walk out of the truck and deliver the packages to the house real quick. There's even, like, you know, a Tesla bot or 2 in the back of the truck while the truck's moving, already grabbing the boxes, right? So that's a whole other topic that I'll do another video on. But again, UPS drivers, our jobs are fine. We don't have to feel like if we don't take this initial offer that we're going to be fired or laid off. That is not the case.
So, UPS, let me bring y'all up to speed on what's going on. So, after these contracts were ratified, the costs over at UPS in order to have these people working there, the drivers, all of whoever it is that worked at UPS, they got a raise. Well, guess what? the cost of doing business was still the same, if not increased more, of what it took in order for them to have operational costs, right? Meaning that the company's costs went up, but the profit is going down. Why? Because Amazon is starting to either move stuff over into a lower cost carrier like FedEx, or they are moving more things in house, meaning that Amazon is expanding its reach while at the same time cutting costs. Here's the difference between an Amazon and a UPS, right? UPS is doing everything based off of their delivery services. Amazon is basically subsidized by all of the rest of their businesses, including AWS, which is the biggest profit driver and generator. Amazon is not even worried about being profitable when it comes to its delivery services. It's Prime services. It has a subscription model to where they can actually predict how much is going to come in every single month or every single year when you renew your Amazon Prime. So Amazon can operate at cost or slightly above cost in profitability because Amazon is more focused on growth than they are on profits, which is one of the reasons why they are expanding their footprint, and they can make capital investments in what? AI, physical AI. I did a whole live stream on physical AI on this channel. And the reason that they're moving into physical AI is because they can A, control costs, B, don't have to worry about people, C, don't have to worry about unions, and D, they can absolutely continue to innovate and make things faster and quicker and deliver it faster to your house. So their warehouses, for example, are starting to become mostly robotics, right? It is being able to move packages back and forth based off of the volume that comes in, and everything is basically automated. Whereas you got this little young thug in there, he's stealing packages, he trying to figure out where the jury is coming from, he calling off sick, his mama always got something to do. He gonna go on TikTok and talk about how you fired him because he didn't do his job right. They don't have to worry about all of that no more. And they don't have to worry about a union like Teamsters negotiating and saying, hey, listen, we want more pay, right? So aside from them losing a ton of business from Amazon and the costs are going up, now they also have to invest themselves in their own smart distribution centers in order to continue to keep up with the Amazons, with the FedExes, and even the USPS is beating up on UPS. The United States Postal Service. Why? Because the United States Postal Service can always get bailed out by American taxpayers, and they have never been profitable, right? But they know that they can basically be subsidized by us, whereas UPS is a publicly traded company, and if they don't make profit, then they die. Then they die, right? So now what UPS is doing is they're offering a buyout package to try to get people to retire, natural attrition, if you was looking at another job, and they can cut costs. So they're going to make the buyout packages to the people that make the most money, seeing who they can get to take the buyout package, which is not that much. I think it's like anywhere from $18,000 to $3,000 per year for every year in service. So if you have been there for 10 years, 20 years, it's not going to be that big unless you was looking to retire. Then that pushes you out the door, and then it allows for them to be able to promote people that make less money up into being drivers, and so they have natural cost cuts. And so UPS is basically trying to cut costs by roughly $1 billion per year. $1 billion per year is what they're trying to save on costs, because it costs them more to do business, whether it be the contracts that kicked in or whether it be the loss of business that came along with doing business with Amazon, and so on and so forth. So innovation is coming. Innovation is going to continue to be here. It's coming. It is happening. It is not something that you can avoid. And all of the drivers are basically telling each other, hey, listen, don't take the buyout. Don't take the buyout. Let me add another part of this before we jump into the analyst expectations and so on and so forth. I just want to share something else with y'all. When unions, and I told y'all this with the UAW contract, I told y'all this when it came to Amazon, or not Amazon, UPS. When unions fight for egregious amount of wages, essentially what they're doing is they're putting their days, they're numbering their days, because they basically have created a situation where you can't sustain the business model and more people are going to get laid off. and they're going to accelerate the innovation aspect of the company because they have to survive. When unions go in and they say stuff like, hey, listen, we need to make as much as a CEO, we need to do this, we want record wages and all of that, even if the company gives in, it's a means to an end. That's why I told people that work for the big three, I told people that work for UPS, I told people that get into these contract negotiations, when you make this money, don't sit on it. Don't think that that is going to be the thing that carries you into your retirement. Listen. It's good to get your money, but it's not good to depend on the company. Get educated. Go back to school. Start your business. Work on the things that you need to work on. Don't increase your life. Oh, baby, we got a bigger bag. We can get a bigger house. Oh, we can get a new car. Yeah, we can do this and do that. No, you need to be making sure that you live the same lifestyle and then make sure that you invest in things that ultimately will carry you, or that you don't have to be dependent on the company long term. I did a live stream. It's so funny, and I'm going to talk about it in a minute. I did a live stream. Y'all remember the live stream that I did last week where I criticized Tucker Carlson, and I said that Tucker Carlson is so far removed because he don't truly understand that why houses are more affordable and stuff like that. And so I did a clip. I clipped it up, and I put it up there. And I know that the people that were watching the clip were completely separate from the people that actually watched the live stream. And everybody said that I was crazy. Everybody said that I was crazy. Somebody said, go back to school so AI can take your job. Dusty mindset. Why wouldn't you want to be the AI engineer? Why wouldn't you want to be the cybersecurity professional that oversees and makes sure, because that is going to be an exploding career? Why won't you want to be the machinist, not the machinist, the programmer that ultimately has to be there to ensure that these machines run efficiently inside of these facilities and things like that? Why wouldn't you want to be the cloud engineer, because we're going to have more data passing through than ever before inside of, because of AI? Why are we not proactively looking to where the industry is going to be in 10 to 15 years, but instead we decide that we want to just be dusty? Yeah. It is. It's a drain. It's a drain to look at people be dusty. It is a drain to look at people be dusty. Like, I did a whole live stream inside of the Patreon that is incredible, that basically breaks down exactly how you can leverage AI to increase your productivity, accelerate your business, get a leg up on everybody else, and how you need to pick which careers you need to pick as a result of the explosion of AI. Everybody that watched it, everybody that rewatched it, everybody that was in the live stream was blown away. They said they loved it. It's inside of the Patreon right now. But instead, you'll have people that is not familiar with how it is that you can leverage the industry in order to be successful, and they'll be the biggest critics of it because they don't understand and because they don't know what they don't know what they're doing. They just don't know what they're doing. It's insane. It's really insane. I'm gonna hold off on certain conversations. Let's continue.
Oh, this is a great question. We need to bring UPS into that equation.
Yes,
too.
we do.
And I don't want to be negative on UPS, but there's just immovable economic forces at work here. What's happened in the last 20 years is we've seen FedEx Ground develop this independent contractor network across the country, and it's grown significantly. And Amazon effectively replicated that 5 or 6 years ago. So you have these two very large, low-cost, high-service networks. And effectively, here's UPS that's fully unionized, fully Teamster contracted, and they're really struggling because they're the high-cost provider with incrementally more challenging service. So the way we see this, and we saw this play out in the less than truckload sector, because there was a big competitor there, Yellow Roadway, which was unionized, and Old Dominion, which is one of the highest valued stocks in my sectors, really took a lot of share, and ultimately Yellow went out of business. So I'm really worried that this uncompetitive dynamic where UPS has a contract that the others don't, we see parcel shift going towards Amazon and FedEx long term.
So what's the play on UPS? It's a dividend play, right? I mean, what else is there?
I think they're yielding 6 or 6.5% right now, and I don't think they're going to cut the dividend anytime soon. But if you listen to UPS, Amazon is a 20% customer in their domestic U.S. network, and Amazon's shrinking that by half in the next 2 years. It's
Don't be finessed by a dividend. A lot of people don't know what a dividend is. I'm gonna break it down for you. I break all of this down inside of the Patreon extensively from a C student's perspective. So make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. When companies increase dividends, a lot of times they do it in order to prop up the stock because they don't want the shares to fall, but they do it sometimes, not all the times. But sometimes a company could be losing business, or they can be dealing with costs or issues or problems or loss of business or whatever. And then they'll increase the dividend payment to make the stock more attractive. People that are ignorant will a lot of times buy into a stock just so that they can get the quarterly dividend payment. That seems like a lot, but the value of the company is actually going down because they can't sustain it. And a dividend is basically them returning shareholder value. So whatever profit that they make or profit that they don't make, they issue this dividend every quarter in order to make the stock more attractive. It doesn't always mean that the stock is doing well just because they issue another dividend payment. All right. So just be careful. Just be careful. All right. I'll break down and I'll go more into this UPS thing as I get more information throughout the week. But I just wanted to wet your beak a little bit and give y'all some insight on why y'all need to be a lot more mindful and paying attention to more than just dick and pussy. You need to be paying attention to what's happening in the markets and why these people are doing what they're doing, because it could be a buying opportunity. It could be an opportunity for you to make an adjustment. You might need to, realign your portfolio. You might need to sell some stuff off depending on what your portfolio look like. But make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat.